What's up, guys? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently 8:01 a.m. Thursday morning, August the 14th, 2025, year of our Lord. And boy, I tell you what, man, it's like the harder I try, the worse things get. It's we just had 11 days straight of torrential rains. I think 2 of those days it was light rain right in the middle of those 11 days. And it was light rain, and it was light enough to where I could get out and mow with the Turf Master, where things were somewhat starting to dry out a little bit. They were still too wet to put a stander on the property. So went out with the Turf Master, got I think it was 13 done last week, and rained all the way up till Tuesday around 9 or 10 to this week. I don't remember when it quit raining Tuesday, but it was soaking wet. Everything was soaking wet. Had standing water on it. And I did get a few mowed with the Turf Master Tuesday, and the ones that were dry enough, I want to say it was 3 or either 4 that I got done Tuesday. And then it quit raining. It was supposed to stop raining about 7:30, 8 o'clock, but it did. It quit raining about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, but it started up again around noon. And I think I wound up getting, I don't know, 3, 4 done Tuesday. I can't even remember, honestly. I'd have to look at the list. And then but it was hot enough after it quit raining where stuff started evaporating. I mean, it got up in the 90s. That's the first time we've seen 90 in 2 weeks. And truth be told, it hadn't even hit 75. Last week it did not hit 75 degrees one single time. And but it hit, I think it was 90 or either 91 Tuesday. And then yesterday it was up in the 90s, low 90s, same 91, 92, somewhere around in there. And but no rain at all yesterday. And which I was very thankful for. I only got 11 done yesterday. The yards were just so overgrown and so out of hand. It took a while. Everything had to be double or triple mowed. And even with the walker, I had to go over stuff more than once. And they were calling for no rain for the rest of the week. I think it's supposed to rain again Sunday. And then it was supposed to go right back to being scorching hot, sun shining bright, you name it. And so I was glad. I mean, I was excited. It was a false sense of hope, man, because I worked late yesterday trying to get those 11 done, and my wife came in the living room last night about 10 o'clock, and she said, "Babe, it's supposed to be thunderstorms starting pretty soon." And looked at the weather, got on the news and all that good stuff, and the Weather Channel, the weather app on my phone, it confirmed everything that she told me, that thunderstorms are supposed to start soon. And watched the 11 o'clock news, and sure enough, it wasn't supposed to be severe storms, but it was heavy rains that were expected. And next thing you know, I started hearing thunderclap, and about midnight, man, the bottom dropped out, and thunder woke me up several times throughout the night. I don't know what time it was each time I got woke up, but it was raining every single time. And turn y'all around real quick. It's raining right now, guys. It's not raining hard right now, but it is raining. And just got to this property. Came out here not last week, but the week before last. I actually picked this property up. I used to have this property. I had this property 2 or 3 years ago, and the guy just asked me to keep it maintained until he got it sold. Well, he sold it, and it went back on the market about a month or 2 ago, and he decided he wanted to buy it back and keep it as an investment property. And it's a pretty good sized property. It's 1.5 acres. And it's right on the edge of the suburbs right here in Evans. And Nice little property. I wish I owned it. You know, it's a nice little property. But yeah, I mean, I came out here 2 weeks ago, not last week, but the week before last. I came out here after church to take a look at it. I knew the property. I still know the property, and but I wanted to look at it and see if it was overgrown, and it looked like the grass had been cut 2 weeks prior to me coming out, and I think it was probably 3.5, maybe 4 or 5 inches high. It wasn't really high, and so I told the guy, I was like, we'll go with the same price as we did before, and the grass isn't overgrown right now, and shouldn't be any trouble getting it cut. Well, I was supposed to cut it Tuesday, this past Tuesday. Didn't get cut. And I communicate with everybody. I communicate with everybody every single day, and let them know what's going on, especially people that don't live in the area, because they're not here. They don't know it's pouring down rain. So I always communicate, man. Even the people that do live here know, you gotta communicate with them, man, because sometimes they get amnesia. They may live down the road from you, but they don't think about it raining, and you just can't get out and mow when it's raining. Not when it's a heavy rain. But I came out here, I drove out here yesterday when I got done with the 11 that I got done, and it looks like this grass is probably 2 feet high. It's Bahia grass and a lot of other wild grasses mixed in, and it was hot yesterday and the day before. It was hot, very sunny, and you could just see steam lifting up everywhere. And keep in mind, we just got out of 11 days straight of rain. So before I got started on it, I emailed the man. I said, hey, I know we agreed on this price. I said, but we just got out of 11 days straight of rain. I said, I cannot do the first cut for that price. I said, this grass is about 2 feet high. I said, I'm going to be here for quite some time trying to get this grass mowed. He didn't reply. And probably about, I don't know, 8:30 last night, I got an email from him. He finally saw his email and replied. And he said, no problem. He completely understands. And he said, he's sorry for the late response. And I'm charging him double from what I would charge him. And he 100% understands. So yeah, this is bad, guys. It's probably gonna take me 2 hours, maybe 2.5 to cut this. Only an acre and a half, but man, this grass is 1.5 feet, 2 feet high in some places. Matter of fact, I'll show you real quick. Let me get this window rolled down and get y'all turned around. You can see where I drove through with my truck to come around here and turn around, but this grass is stupid high, guys. And it goes all the way back up into that cut back there, and then you got all that out there to the tree line, and you can't see the other side of the house. But yeah, it's a lot. And when it's like this, guys, you can't be losing money every single time you go out, man. It's like I always say, you've got to control what you can. And business is hard enough as it is, and it's stupid easy to lose money in business. So control what you can and keep your losses at a minimum. Because if I was to come out here and mow this for $105, think about all the gas that I would be wasting and not making up for my time. So, but yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna be able to get done today. I'm gonna mow this one soon. It's supposed to be out of here by 9 o'clock, and it's 8:01 right now, or I'm sorry, 8:11 right now. It's supposed to be out of here by 9 o'clock, and there's not any rain falling right now, but it's very overcast, and it has been coming in waves, you know. So this one right here, I may be able to go ahead and mow this. I'm about to get out and try to see how well it does with the 61. Just about everything on this property. I think there's one little island that has to be mowed with the 36. That's because there's a raised it looks like it might have been a garden bed at one point 10 or 15 years ago, but it's straight grass right now, and the ground's pretty solid right there. But it's a raised bed right in front of his house, and that's the only part I'm gonna have to mow with the 36. But yeah, I am gonna get out here in just a few minutes and just see what I can do with the 61. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of clumping, but the good news is that this is probably, I don't know, 80% Bahia grass. And Bahia clumps, but it doesn't clump to the point where you can't blow it apart, you know. 9 times out of 10, you go back over it with the deck lifted up a little bit, it'll shred everything. So probably gonna have to mow this 3 times. I'm gonna mow it once with the mower deck lifted all the way up to 5 inches, and then I'm gonna go down to 2.5 inches. That's what I was cutting this on before, was 2.5 inches. And then once I do that, I'm gonna raise it back up to 3 or either 3.5 inches, just depending on how big the clumps are. And that way I can shred everything and disperse it a little better. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna say probably 2.5 hours I should be done. I'm hoping. There is a ditch on the right. If sitting at the house looking out towards the road, there's a ditch that's probably about, I don't know, 20 or 30 yards long, and about 15 feet wide at the most, and it's about a 5-foot ditch. So a lot of rain, man. A lot of rain. This is very frustrating. It really is, man. And when I've been going through it this year, guys. I'm getting stuff done this week. I think I've got 14 or either 15 done so far this week. I don't know for sure without looking at the list. And I'm already better off than what I was last week. So that's a plus. And but I'm planning on working Saturday and Sunday to just get everything caught up, man, because I've got to get these customers caught up somehow or another. I can't be owing people money or services, you know. So I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna go when I can't, or go till I can't, and I'm gonna work until dark, man. And I do have a quote that's got to be done today, and I'm still waiting to hear back from the guy that's got those 20 properties. He told me I should know something by Friday, and it'd be nice to know something now, man. That way I could get on the ball with hiring some help, because I really don't want to hire no help until I know for sure that I'm gonna pick those properties up. I mean, business is steadily picking up, but I need help. I do. And everybody, my go-to people, they're either in school or they're in the middle of their career now. So I'm gonna have to put out a Facebook ad to get some help. But yeah, man, when it rains it pours, guys. It's I've had a rough year, man. I went through the employee struggles. You know, my breakdowns, they started early this year. They started back in April. Had a malfunction with the 61. The spindle tore up. I don't even know what all has happened so far this year. I hadn't been keeping up with it, but it's been a lot. I've spent a lot of money on repairs and damages, and then, you know, had employee issues early on, and had to part ways with my helper. And nothing against him. I still like the guy. We still talk. He's a great guy, man. Just I'm pretty sure he had his mind on other things, and so I don't want to sit here and bash him. But he was getting ready to start a career and just had his mind in other places, man. And I need somebody that can stay focused on the task at hand. But dealt with those two things, and then I've already had now I've had 3 weeks without being able to work. this summer because of the weather. And the thing about it is, guys, it's easy to get out and mow when it's been raining. You know, it rains a lot. You know, we've had a lot of rain this summer, and truth be told, it's rained 2 or 3 days just about every week this summer, which is no big deal. No big deal at all. You can, you know, that's why you leave Fridays, or that's why I leave Fridays and Saturdays open. If I need to make it up, I can. And I have no issues with working on Saturday. I don't want to work Saturday, but if I have to, I have to. That's why I leave Friday. That's why I try to work 4 days a week. That way I'm not working every Saturday. And but I understand coming into this, you're going to have to work on some Saturdays. And but when it rains 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days a week, and even if it was to rain every single day, it would be no big deal, because it's normally in the 90s or the 100s in the summertime here in the state of Georgia. But the issue I'm faced with right now is all last week, or not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. I think it started Friday night. It cooled off Friday. That's when the rain started. And Friday night it started raining, and the lows at night were in the mid to low 60s. Yeah. That is very uncharacteristic for this time of year. It just is. Our lows this time of year, our lows are usually in the 80s. High 70s, low 80s. And all throughout the day when the sun is overhead, it'll be anywhere from 98 degrees to 110 degrees. It's been that way majority of the summer. So we're used to rain. Rain is not an issue. Yes, we do have our drought situations, but it might be 2 or 3 weeks at the most that we have a drought here in our area. And when we do have a drought, it doesn't really affect me a whole lot, because most of my properties are irrigated. But the problem that I'm faced with is the lows at night are in the low 60s, mid to low 60s, and the highs are in the low 70s. It did not reach 75 at all. At all. So the water is soaking into the ground the best it can, and the rest of it's just sitting there on top. You know, it hasn't had enough time to soak into the ground. And with no sunshine, that Tuesday was the first day that the sun came out since last Friday. It was overcast. I want to say it was overcast Thursday, the Thursday before, or, you know, whatever. Not last Thursday, but the Thursday before last. It was overcast then. Overcast all day Friday. It started cooling off Friday. Lows in the 60s, highs in the 70s, low 70s. So, hasn't had no sunshine to evaporate anything. It hasn't been hot enough to evaporate anything. And the water's just going straight into the ground the best it can, as far as it can. And then the rest of it's just standing on top. That's where the issue lies. I don't mind rain. I don't even mind working in the rain, as long as it's not a heavy downpour, and as long as it's not thunder and lightning. I'm not going to work in an electrical storm. It's not worth it. But that's the problem that I'm faced with, and it's very, very frustrating, man, because this is something that we just aren't used to in our area. We're just not used to it, man. With these clay soils that we have around here, we don't have a whole lot of sand. It's mainly clay. And clay doesn't drain well, man. The water doesn't soak into clay. So it's just been one of those years, man. There's been a lot going on. I've had 3 weeks that I couldn't work, had employee issues, and I've had to spend a lot of money this year. I've probably spent $10,000 or $15,000 on between wasted money with employees and damages, and if you count the money I lost due to not being able to work, it's probably been 10 or 15 grand. And that's when you have less than 100 properties, guys. 10 or 15,000, that's a major hit, man. It really is. And so it's been a struggle this year. But hey, man, one thing I do have going for me is I got God on my side, and He's going to get me through this. He really is. And I'm trying as hard as I can to stay positive. I'm on Lexapro right now. My wife forced me to get on it. That way I don't have a nervous breakdown out here, and to try to manage my stress a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, It's one of them things, man. It just is. And but God's gonna get me through it, man. He hadn't brought me this far to let me fall on my face. And I say that so many times. My wife's frustrated too, man, because she gets it. And she's frustrated because I'm frustrated. And but yeah, we're gonna get through it. And it's growing pains, right? But yeah, rough month here at Tank's Lawn Maintenance, man. Rough start to August. But hey, I hope you guys out there are having an amazing summer. I really do. I hope y'all are staying dry. I hope y'all are staying cool and hydrated. And I hope y'all are just growing to the moon and back, man. I really do. But look, man, I'm going to hop off here. I'm fixing to put a mower on this property, see what I can do. And I'll catch y'all on the next video, man. But look, till the next one, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. I'll let y'all. Bye.